Okay, ladies, so I'm going to do a couple examples with you so that you can get some practice with using this equation that we just learned. It's a fairly simple equation. You just plug in the numbers and solve for the variable that's left over. So we're still going to use our looking for given relationship type of model when we do this. So our question here is saying how much heat is absorbed when 500 grams of water, and it tells us C equals 4.184 joules per grams degrees Celsius, goes from 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. So in this case, we're looking for how much heat. If we go back to our equation, this is going to be the change in thermal energy. So Q is what we're looking for. And we're given a couple different numbers. We're given 500 grams, and that's going to be our mass. We're given the number 4.184 joules per grams degrees Celsius, and that's going to be our C, our specific heat. And then for temperature, we're given two different temperatures. And if we look back at our equation, we have our change in temperature is what we're wanting. So for this, we're going to do our final temperature minus our initial temperature. So we'll do 35 degrees Celsius minus 25 degrees Celsius. So we'll have 10 degrees Celsius is our change in temperature, delta T. Those are the numbers we're given. And our relationship, we're going to use the equation that we've been talking about. And then we just plug in the numbers and solve. So our mass is 500 grams. C is 4.184 joules per grams degrees Celsius. And our delta T is 10 degrees Celsius. Then we're just going to put that in our calculator. Oops. So we have 500 times 4.184 times 10. So we have 20,920. And to figure out what unit we're going to use, you might notice that we have grams here that cancel with the grams here. Our degrees Celsius that cancel with our degrees Celsius. So we're left with joules. So our unit for this is going to be joules. So this is our answer. Okay. So we're going to try another one. So if you would like to pause the video right now so you guys can practice this problem, then when you're ready, you can play it again so that you can go through the answer with me. So go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so how we are going to answer this, it's very similar to the last question. So we have our looking for. In this case, we're looking for how much heat, again, is going to be Q. Our given, we have a couple different numbers. We have 500 grams is our mass. We have our specific heat, and for this case, specific heat, which is what we're going to talk about this a little more in detail next class period, but a specific heat is a number that is dependent on the material. So the last question was water, this one's copper, so they have a different value. So we have 0.385 joules per grams degrees Celsius. Specific heat is also the amount of heat that is required to change the temperature of a substance by 1 degree. If you're interested, we'll talk more about it later. But this is our C. Sometimes we put prefixes to denote different materials, but it's still C. And then we want our change in temperature, so we're going to go from 35 degrees Celsius minus our 25 degrees Celsius. So we still have a delta T of 10 degrees Celsius. This is the same exact question, except for this time our C is different because it's a different material. Okay, and then our relationship, we're going to use the same one. And then we just plug in the numbers. Okay, and then if we get out our calculator, we can do 500 times 0.385 times 10 to get 1,925 joules.